This is the real reason that Dr Jana left The Apprentice. In today's episode, we'll answer a question about what is the scarring on Johnny's face. We'll also react to episode 6 of The Apprentice. And of course, we'll look at the real reason that Dr Jana chose to leave The Apprentice. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, and let's get into this.
"4 a.m.
Hello.
Can
I be credit? Fuck off, please.
What kind of task do you think it'll be then?
I'm feeling the whole corporate away day, maybe. You know, a bit of team building.
We might need that ourselves.
This is the problem with having the same tasks every single year. They can very easily just guess what the task is going to be way before it's been set. Always a corporate away day. And they're always some confected bullshit where there's very high expectations. Normally there's something goes wrong with the food, so they'll cook something wrong, or the drinks, they won't get enough drinks, or the kind of main kind of actual away day bit will be rubbish, or the activity they do, they mess it up somehow. Because that's, again, the Austria episode's a great example of this. Why do they have to run it? They're not experts. You know, they had to take people yodeling. It was lucky Chizola is a good singer because otherwise they were screwed. But that's not a business skill, being able to do just specifically random things.
Good morning. Chizola and Mia, would you come forward and collect your team's tablets, please?
Good morning. I'm sorry I can't be with you today.
Lord Sugar's not there again. What, couldn't get through customs? What's even... I don't even know the joke I'm making there. He is taking the work from home thing a bit too far, in my opinion. You are being paid to be part of this show, I presume, I don't know. But you're being paid to be part of this show. The least you could do is turn up and do your bit. You have to basically record maybe a quarter of what everyone else does. You don't have to go with them on tasks. You are literally the character with the least onus on them. At least you can show up for the start and the end. Imagine if he didn't go to the boardroom. It's like, oh, sorry I'm not there, but Karen, can you just decide who to fire this week? Honestly, probably end up with better decisions, but still wouldn't really be The Apprentice with Lord Sugar, would it?
For your next task, I'm sending you Turkey, or Turkey as you may know it. Turkey is a...
Why does he pronounce it correctly and then just stop? Why does he do that? Why would just pronounce it how you want to pronounce it? You know, Turkiye is how they would like you to pronounce it, and they've made that very clear, the Turkish people. But you can't just then go, yeah, anyway, Turkey, as I like to call it, and I'm gonna call it that. Just don't acknowledge it. You know, it's fine. Call it whatever you like, really, but don't go out of your way to be like, oh yeah, Turkiye. Or as you know it, Turkey. Anyway, Turkey, we're doing this. Like, commit to being a bigot.
Boardroom on the Aegean Sea, in the rose-tinted valleys of Cappadocia.
So I think there's a little bit of opportunity for non-parity here. They're in different places and they've got different clients who do have different expectations. Like, even if they have the same in principle expectations, they're going to have different expectations. And they're in different parts of the country, so I'm assuming they're going to have to do different things. I think the crucial part of any kind of task like this is finding the right clientele. But they're going to have to design it, I presume, before they've even met the clientele. So they're going to design something based on what they think sounds good, and then tell the clientele that it's going to be amazing, and then let them down. You know, they're going to massively overpromise and then underdeliver. That should probably be the slogan of the show. You know, overpromise, underdeliver, because that is the same thing every week. Bit like my jokes.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It almost doesn't feel real.
I swear this was a lock screen on my laptop at one point or something. Like,
How much did the Turkish tourist board pay for this? You know, it is beautiful. I can't deny it. It looks amazing. But why are they saying that? You know, I can see that. Turkish, you know, I want to see at the end, actually. Is there special thanks to the Turkish... you know, let's check it now. Not seeing anything there. I can't find any evidence that the Turkish tourist board paid for that.
It did catch me that you've done a lot of corporate away days, Chizola. So I'm really happy to support you as PM on this one, Chizola.
Yeah, congratulations.
Amazing. Thank you, guys.
Johnny is fuming. Johnny is fuming. He really wanted to be here, and I suspect it's because he's kind of been a bit too much of a background character up until now. I don't think he's put himself forward for project manager before, and if he has, he wasn't successful. And there's a risk in this process that as you get further in, the longer you haven't been project manager, the kind of more risk that someone, well, Lord Sugar points out and says, well, you've not been doing anything, which obviously isn't fair or true, but it's high risk.
So for our experience, we're going to go on the off-road 4x4 Jeep Safari. We'll then come to the boat and we'll give them a 3-course lunch and make sure they have an amazing time.
Oh, they don't have a choice. That's just what they're doing. They're doing a tour and at the boat. Yeah, so there's absolutely there's absolutely no choice there. That was just decided for them. It's even worse than having just A or B option and choose between them. That's just what you're doing. There's so little room there for creativity, which again, as I said last week, I think is an absolutely key business skill.
With us, obviously, they're going to get the hot air balloon, they're going to get some nice food, and they're going to get a team building activity.
Hot air balloon sounds way more fun than a safari. Am I wrong? Am I out of my depth here? I personally would much rather go on a hot air balloon than and also, sorry, hot air balloon, they're going to have professionals do it. There's no way they're going to be allowed to run a hot air balloon. Whereas the tour, the safari, they'll have to do themselves because there's basically no risk involved. Unless it's like an animal safari. No, even then, you stay in your car. They don't seem very even. This is the real reason Jana left The Apprentice. Last week, we lost Jana. 2 weeks ago, we looked at kind of the reported reasons and Jana's response to the reported reasons for why he left the process. It's now been revealed the real reason that Jana left the process. Jana felt he was being set up to fail. He was being tripped up in tasks designed to make him look bad. He recognises reality TV is not real. It's confected, it's created. In many ways, it's marginally scripted. We see that through the way that this week's task has lots of kind of limited choice. But Jana felt it was two-staged. It was unfair on him, that it was the writing, if you will, made him specifically look bad. He raised his concerns to staff, and nothing happened. And then they basically told him that he was being disruptive to the show. Apparently, he also thought that, given what was told to him in the boardroom by Lord Sugar, that they wouldn't work well together, they wouldn't gel, which I think is really important given that it's going to be running a business together. But actually, it reveals a lot about kind of how he feels he was being treated. That kind of he told the producers it wasn't going to work, and told Lord Sugar as well. Ultimately, again, it does make me question again the producers. I asked 2 weeks ago who's briefing the press about the reason for Jana leaving being racist remarks, and ultimately I think it was the producers. I think this kind of confirms it. I said last time, was there a producer trying to set a narrative that Jana leaving messed up? Yes, there was. The narrative was that Jana wasn't great as a businessman. And maybe he isn't. Like I said last time, I don't know him. I think that there's a lot to be said for, saying, actually, this isn't for me. I don't want to be part of this. You're showing me in a way that I don't think is fair. And then to brief the press, he's a racist. I think it's completely out of line. And I think Fremantle, BBC, you need to sort this out. You need to get to the bottom of who is briefing to the press that Jana's a racist. Because even if he is, that's a case for, to be investigated, not for just a press briefing. So I think, we need to get to the bottom of that, particularly given that there seems to be some more to this.
Carpet weaving, which is the first option.
We're going for that history to Turkey. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
100% at the end of the day, it's a traditional craft, isn't it? Okay, cool.
My question, are they flying people in to do this? Or are they Turkish clients? Because if it's Turkish clients, I still think the carpet weaving sounds better. But if they're Turkish clients, the carpet weaving is going to be a little less interesting because it's not a different culture. If they're British, there's a lot higher chance that they'll be like, oh wow, this is different, this is new, this is cool. I still think carpet weaving is better.
Isola's team danced round a DIY approach.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want us spending too much money on the team building because I do think we've got those skills within the team. So I'm more thinking to go down the DIY route.
No.
Why can't they do this to the other things? Are they going to be allowed to go and buy their own food from the supermarket and just do that? Are they going to be allowed to, instead of having the safari, are they going to be allowed to just kind of like take on a walking tour around Boardroom? Why don't they do that? I don't know why they're allowed to do a free activity for this, but not for the others. Go dumpster diving.
I have got a couple of ideas as to team split. I'd like myself, Max and Dean on the experienced team.
Has he just put all the women and Jordan in the kitchen. I'm not going to call you a sexist, Kia, but it's not a great look. You know what? I'll reserve judgment until a sub-team leader's chosen. If Jordan is chosen, I'm going to be very suspicious.
We have been taking a lot of notes. There's been a lot of information, but it's all about retaining that information so we can pass that on to our guests tomorrow. That's the most crucial part of this learning experience.
It's not just about retention, though, is it? Like, it's about it being interesting. It's not just, you know, these people haven't signed up for an educational lesson. They've signed up for an interesting tour. It's got to be interesting. It can't just be a reciting of facts. It needs to be a cohesive narrative, a story, something that's exciting, interesting, and fun that, you know, you get the facts out of.
Merhaba! We're so excited to try your food.
There's been a rapport like Carlo does where, you know, he asks you a question about your business and you tell him and he pretends to be interested, then he just moves on to the thing he actually wants to talk about. And then there's building rapport through showing a genuine interest in what it is that they're showing you. Coming in and saying hello in Turkish is a strong demonstration that they do care. They care about you, your culture, and I think that's a really, really key way of building rapport. Carlo, if you're looking for tips, just watch The Apprentice.
I'm not keen on that. Like, I can really taste cumin.
I think that that's quite an acquired taste, if I'm honest.
Okay, Carlo, this is a tip what not to do. Kia said, don't insult anyone. First thing they do.
If it's an acquired taste for us, maybe it might be for our guests.
Okay.
That is actually outrageous. That is how not to negotiate. There's no way they get a good deal here at all now. No sympathy at all.
So in terms of what I'm thinking from the cost perspective, I'm happy to just go with unlimited water.
I think people do relax after a drink. So I'm thinking, because we've got 10 guests, if we get 2 bottles of wine, that with the unlimited water, I think would be a good option.
So I think the safest option for us would be to go for the unlimited water plus the unlimited selected soft drinks.
No, they're doing the thing I thought they were. I know I called it, but no. Come on, this is simple. You have to go for... You have to have alcoholic. You know, they know this. They knew that this was going to come up. They knew this was going to be a task. This is one of the key things. Alcohol. They want booze.
I'll be super honest. This price is very, very high. Always make a good bargain and decrease the price. We all know this.
355.
Okay,
Brilliant.
so deal?
See you tomorrow.
Look forward to seeing you later.
Yeah.
She saw them just as soon as they walked in. 355, yeah. Oh, absolutely, please. Yeah. That's how you do negotiation. Everyone take notes from her, not any of the Apprentice candidates. They're rubbish at it in comparison. She, no, 300 is our max and 400 is way out of our price range. 355, yeah, cool.
If we were to agree 400, I'd expect something absolutely exceptional. Real luxury.
Okay, 400
Okay.
euros per person. I think that's fair on both parties. We're more than happy to do that.
They have set very high, but very clear expectations here. Can they meet them? No, of course they can't. They never can. You know, it's over Robert's under-deliver central on this TV show.
Right, guys, so I'm just going to set the tone for the day. So we're going to call this a no-phone zone.
They hate it. They already hate it.
As we start to go up into the mountains, we're going to get everyone just in a little cheer and we're going to say, boardroom, boardroom, boardroom.
Boardroom, 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 boardroom. No one else? Okay. Just me.
And this is massive.
Yeah, you don't. That's comical. You don't need to use that.
Why is it so big? People are always asking me that.
I like
Bit of millennial humour there. Grow up. Yeah, grow up.
Oh, grow up! Grow up!
Which do you prefer, green or black olives?
Oh, I like all olives.
You like all olives? Nice, yeah. I'd say I like the green ones.
I want to crawl into a hole and die. This is awful. That is the kind of chat that gets you nowhere. Why are they all in the same car as well? That's just... this is... I want to bite my own tongue out. That was awful. That was genuinely terrible. Have some chat. Have some conversation ready to go.
Table laying.
I just realised what I've done wrong.
Mia?
Yeah.
I've laid out part of the table,
Perfect.
but I'm completely on my own out there. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. This is not my job. I'm going above and beyond in this task.
Going above and beyond by doing what you're asked to do. I don't understand. Where's the above? Where's the beyond? You've been asked to lay the table. You are laying the table. You've barely done anything. You've done it wrong up till now, which is neither here nor there. How's she going above and beyond? What's with the attitude, Malika? Come on. Snap out of it. Let's get back in the game. Come on.
Everyone remember clean surfaces. So let's clear up a bit.
Clean as we go. That's what we learn at Waitrose. If Malika was in this team, she would just be telling them.
Their tour on a high.
Everybody enjoy themselves up there?
Yeah. This team seems to be having such a good time. The other team seems to be having just a miserable experience.
What do the snakes eat? Scorpions.
I think part of that is the actual tour that they've got. The tour is fucking dull. The balloon ride is fun. That's much better as a thing to do. You know, on a Virgin Experience level, who the winner of this will get one of them. Balloon is high. Safari kind of olive tour, pretty low.
I'm looking forward to a nice drink of wine. We've been waiting for this.
Oh, just a quick check-in to see how you're doing.
We're loving the boat and the atmosphere. If there's probably anything that we could focus on, it's to keep the glasses topped up.
More wine, more wine, more wine, more wine. Yeah, they do need to, they should order more wine, but that woman is expecting, just unlimited alcohol? It's a team building. It's an away day, not a booze up.
How did you find the fish?
The conversation yesterday was very much that this was going to be an exceptional fine dining experience.
We said that you have a fine dining restaurant, but we never said that the food was going to be fine dining.
I feel like they made the assumption.
They made the assumption, but you kind of didn't stop them making that assumption. So fundamentally, the fine dining experience was probably fair to assume was going to happen, given you said, oh yeah, one of our team runs a fine dining restaurant. Why would you tell them that otherwise? I don't like this client. This client, I think, is a dickhead. But they made a fair assumption based on what you told them.
Been your head chef tonight?
We're just discussing and the food is amazing. Like, you're in Turkey and cooking Turkish food better than us.
First one to do 5 knots is the winner.
Again, Mia's really impressing me. She did the cooking. Cooking, yes, I got the cleaning. Yes, I got the... And they loved it. The clients loved it. And then is leading on the team building tasks as well. And they're all having a great time.
I don't think we've done a bad job. The question is, have we done enough to win this task? I'm hoping so. We've got some good profit margins if we don't get any refunds.
Chizola, are you in denial? What? Denial's a river in Egypt, and Chizola is always there. They've done dreadfully. There's no way Chizola's team wins this.
3, and eventually I got them down to 60 in terms of the quality of food.
Sorry. Let me turn this off.
Is this going to be a joke about Liam's decision to make sure everyone has their phones turned off or something? What's the joke here?
This is the Turkish Prime Minister.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, that's funny, that is. Oh, Lord Sugar, you are funny. Very funny.
And I spy thing.
That's it. I just
I
wanted to keep
spy
it fun.
something beginning with B.
Bollocks. Bad jokes. Bad businessmen.
Well, it was only myself up there in the first place. There was no one there.
It doesn't need 2 people to lay a table.
At least
That's
I didn't
the
drop
thing.
anything. At least I didn't drop anything.
I didn't drop anything. Yeah, that's right, everyone. I didn't drop anything. That's my claim to fame.
And spills, I think, over the one of your clients.
Yeah, I don't know who spilt it, but I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. We were kind of rushing.
Max, you spilt it. Max, you spilt it.
Their 40th anniversary of the first phone call that was made by the company. I think that first call was to me.
Yeah, they did mention that.
Pay your bill.
No, I'm not going to let that fly, that joke. Mainly because it doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm all for a funny little joke, albeit not funny, from Lord Sugar. But it needs to make some semblance of sense. Why would the first call from a phone company be to someone to pay their bill? You know, make the joke like, oh, it was to me to see if they could use my technology, or it was to me because they thought it was really cool that I also had a phone, or, you know, whatever. But Why would it be to pay a bill? It doesn't make any sense. You know, or is logic saying he doesn't pay his bill sometime? Because if he's saying that, fair enough. But, you know, I wouldn't be saying that with chest.
You got done on your refunds. Well done, Team Ascendancy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done,
For this week's treat, I'm sending you...
Right, what's the Virgin Experience trip this time?
To a traditional Turkish Hammam spa.
That's the Virgin Experience.
I always try to lead, to take responsibility, and everyone here, apart from Johnny, has actually been PM or sub-PM.
Lord Sugar, I put myself forward for project manager in this task.
Right, Johnny is one of the nicer people on this series, and the fact he's going to go home, yeah, man, pissing me off. Johnny's gone. I don't even need to watch anything else. He has shied a bit away from making decisions, and from being project manager. But you know, there's a solution to that. You say next time you're project manager. Chizola is at fault, I think, for the failure of this task. She promised so much. She overpromised to the max. And then when the cards on the table, she couldn't deliver. You know, the tour was really boring. And honestly, if the tour had been more interesting, I think they would have done better. That being said, I actually think the core failure of this task has been preset. There was no real way that this team could have possibly won a hot air balloon tour in comparison to a driving tour around just some random like olive field, basically. I'll show you who's been fired, and you can tell me if it's Johnny or not. It is Johnny, for reference. I can just tell.
Because after 6 weeks I haven't seen much from you, that Johnny, you're fired.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Fairness Brady, Tim, you're my heroes. Thank you.
To mark Johnny leaving, let's talk about his birthmark. He's been really upfront about it. It's something that doesn't really affect who he is as a business person, as a person, full stop. But I have seen a lot of comments asking, you know, what is this? Can you explain? Johnny's done some pieces on TikTok, but in case you missed them, this is the explanation. Johnny basically outlines he didn't really want to talk about it because he didn't want to give a sob story. He wants people to like him for him and support him for him rather than kind of any scarring he has. It was a birthmark that was removed via surgery. He had a nevus covering half his face and head when he was born. There was a slight risk it could be cancerous, so his parents took the decision to remove it. The surgery was obtrusive and affected his eye, causing it to droop down, and caused lots of discomfort, among other things like ingrown eyelashes. He's had skin grafts and tissue expansion to make his eye a better shape. Yeah, to quote him, people are born with differences. Mine is a birthmark covering my face. For other people, it could be a physical attribute somewhere else in their body, or a speech thing, or anything. Like, why does it matter? But people have been asking. So that's Johnny's birthmark. I want to say, Johnny, I think you've been great. I think you were one of the strongest contestants. Didn't get the sense Lord Sugar liked you. I think there were opportunities for you to take some more leadership, which would have given you a bit more cover. But ultimately, I think, end of the day, you probably weren't going to get to the end anyway. Fascinating. All in all. I'm going to put up here. This is the video you should watch for mine next. But actually, I want to ask you, you know, do you think that Johnny deserved to go home today? Obviously, I don't think that he did. Make sure you subscribe. I actually think that Chizola needed to go home this time. I think that Johnny was unfairly targeted. I think they saw the other candidate's sort of weakness, and they just pounced on the opportunity, which I think is a shame. Do you agree? Make sure you've liked, make sure you subscribed, make sure you share this video to your crush. They will love it. Be a good boy, and I'll see you next week.